traps, whether they are lollies or actual Venus flytraps or whatever the heck Traptrix is, we know that they're a problem. Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. Traptrix just received some new support in the most recent set, and I wanted to talk about that. Not really, but I am. I really enjoy playing control style strategies, which this one does happen to be. However, I am not a big fan of this archetype, mostly due to the artwork. It is horrendous. That's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of lollies. It's unethical. I don't really know why there's an entire archetype of scantily clad little girls, but I guess that's the idea behind the traps. Anyway, besides the logistics of this deck, let's actually talk about what the deck plans to do. So overall, they did receive quite a bit of new support. Boudica giving you access to the Garden, which is an additional normal summon, is very great, and being a banish is also very nice. Arachnocampa being an additional special summon is fantastic. Holotea is one of the best cards for an archetype to receive as legacy support. It kind of just does whatever, what you actually need the deck to do, which you always love it to see. We also got access to Ping to get an additional search, and Adipus to push for lethal, because everything now needs to be able to OTK on the second turn of the duel. I don't know why this is the case, but alas, here we are. So let's quickly do the card by card and the explanation. Starting off with the tech cards, or the non-engine pieces. We're playing the triple Maxi, the triple Ash Blossom, double called by because we do have to deal with the Maxi, triple evenly matched because evenly match happens to do really well in this deck, being a normal trap, which means you can pitch it off of Holotea to special summon the Holotea on the first turn, and it's also just a great going second option. So main decking this. And then of course we're also playing the double Solemn Judgment to deal with any other unwanted back row removal or just, problematic cards like, for example, the evenly matched. As for the rest of the cards, we are also running the triple a whole bunch of Traptrix monsters. Basically, any one of these is full combo. Well, not anyone, but almost all of these are full combo by themselves. Some of them require at least one other card. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Anyway, we are playing Triple Myrmelio. This card is very, very good at searching out a normal trap, or a normal trap hole card. So there's that. You can even search out the Holotea, which is very, very nice. So yeah, there's that. And then on a special summon, it also pops a back row that your opponent controls. This is a mandatory effect, which means it will always trigger, the Sarah, which is very nice. Next up, we have Dionea. Dionea has the effect on normal to special summon back a Traptrix monster, and on special, reset one of your trap holes, which is very nice. So there you go. Next up, we have ourselves Mantis. Mantis on normal searches out a Traptrix monster, and it has the quick effect to bounce a set spell trap you control to set a different one from your hand. Yeah, you could reset it if you want to. This just triggers Sarah, which is very nice. Next up, we have Boudica. Boudica searches the Garden, which gives you an additional normal summon, and then on top of that, it has the ability to, on special, banish an opponent's monster, which is also very nice. Arachnocampa special summons itself if you control another Traptrix monster, and it protects your spells and traps, which is very nice. Next up, we're also playing Triple Parallel Exceed. Guess what? Sarah happens to have a very good zone, and we want to go into rank 4s, which means Parallel Exceed happens to be very good here. It gives us access to those rank 4s, while also being easy to activate and to summon. So yeah, that's basically it. We're playing, as for the spells and traps, we're playing the one Garden, as I already mentioned, with the Boudica. We just need the one. That's basically all that it does. It does give you a little bit more protection. It also has the ability to potentially, summon another monster if you need to, but in all honesty, most of the time it's not that big of a deal. It's just an additional normal summon. Next up, we have a whole bunch of normal trap cards, more specifically the trap holes, that being a Bottomless Trap Hole, the Nightmare Trap Hole Nightmare, Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, there we go, the Time Space Trap Hole, Floodgate, as well as Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare, all at one. And the reason for this, they're very easy to either activate with Rafflesia or to see off of Sarah, or Myrmelio. So we really don't need more than just one a piece of these. However, there is one that I prefer to play two of at the current moment. Right now, lots of hand effects, lots of graveyard effects, with both Tier and Labyrinth being ever so prominent, as well as just any other graveyard-reliant strategy, or more specifically, hand traps. And so because of that, Gravedigger's Trap Hole happens to be in here at 2. And the reason for this, it triggers off of Rafflesia, as well as being able to set it with something like a Dionea is very nice. And so yeah, having 2 of this is very, very good. And The only reason that we're actually playing 2 instead of just the 1 is because of the fact that it does burn for 2. If it was just the negate, I probably would still only play the 1, mostly due to the fact that, like, yes, it's good, but there are other better trap holes that I could be playing, or other better cards that could potentially see play. But the fact that it also burns for 2,000 means that you can really put your opponent low on life points and then push for lethal very efficiently. So yeah, that's why we're playing that. Then we're playing, of course, the triple Holitea, because it's basically a monster and a trap to trigger your Sarah effect, which is very, very nice. And then the 2 Solemn Judgment, which we mentioned already. Next up, we have a whole bunch of rank 4s, Abyss Dweller, Double Rafflesia, Baguska, Redoer. We have the Alumeris. We also have the new Ping. Ping is a very good card, being able to search out a monster, as well as if your opponent sends a monster to the graveyard, like for example with a tier card, or just banishes a card, you can then target, or you can attach one of those to the card as material. Now, notably, this doesn't actually target, so if your opponent sends multiple cards and they activate multiple of them, you could just steal whichever one you want, right, which is very nice. And then on top of that, if they were to try and dodge that effect, and they sent like an additional monster that they didn't decide to dodge with like a shuffler or something like that, you can just steal that one instead. So that's pretty nice. It also means that your tier monsters, or like tier monsters, aren't going to resolve as efficiently, so this is a very good card against tier, which is very nice. And then we have this Baromet, which is just another way to recycle your traps. You can detach a material, target a normal trap in your grave, place it on the bottom of the deck, and then draw a card. Then if a normal trap is activated, you can detach it in a material from a Z monster you control and special summon a level 4 monster from your hand. The level 4 special summon isn't that great, but being able to recycle your monsters or your traps is pretty nice in more slow formats. And then we have the 1 Zeus. We don't really have the ability to play like Downerd or anything like that, so we're just playing the 1 Zeus, and nothing really to rank it up to get additional materials onto it. As for the rest, we're playing the triple Sarah. This is the heart and blood of the deck, being able to, on normal trap activation, special summon a Traptrix, and on Traptrix activation, you are able to set a trap hole monster, or a trap hole card. And next up, we have the 1 Almirage, because I was bricking on hand traps and Exceed, so there's that. And then we have the Lingaribo for the Exceed, as well as Adipus. Adipus has the ability to basically push for lethal very efficiently. You can, all of your monsters are boosted by 1,000 attack if you have a normal trap in your graveyard, and then once per turn, you can target face-up monsters your opponent controls up to the number of insect and plant monsters you control, negate their effects, then apply the effect, banish a normal trap from your graveyard, and if you do, destroy one of those face-up cards. It's nice, but it's not, it's basically just in tier to OTK. Anyway, that's it for the deck. Let's hop into the replays and show you how this deck performs. Alright, so here we are going second and evenly matched. You'll love to see it. But my opponent is going to reveal that they are on Deep Sea Diva, and I'm like, oh, well, I shouldn't ash this because it's going to be a Sprite. And then they... Huh? What? Huh? Okay. Should I have ashed that? They're going to change the level in order to go into Prima Donna, to which I will negate. Because I'm like, oh, that's scary. I don't want them to grab my Puika. That doesn't seem fun. And then they reveal that they're actually on Ice Jade. So out comes the manifestation. And I did give them a monster with the Ash Blossom, so oops. Out comes Cradle. They're going to grab up the monster to their hand, which I believe, what did they grab? Azurine. And then they're going to equip to the Gimmer Azurine and grab back that Deep Sea Diva with one of the weirdest techs I've ever seen, Synchro Overtake, to reveal, what did they reveal? They revealed Deep Sea Repertoire. This game is weird. Anyway, we draw Parallel Exceed for turn, so we're going to start off here with the Putika. We're going to search out, we're going to add to the hand the Traptrix Garden. Then we are going to trigger the Parallel Exceed, to the which they will then banish, which is kind of odd, but okay. They're then going to activate the, we're going to activate the Traptrix, or Traptrix Garden. Dear Lanta, I hate that card name. And then normal summon our Dionea. Dionea is then going to try to summon the Putika, to the which they will Ghost Spell, which is odd. Anyway, we're going to go and make Ping here. We're going to activate the effect of the Ping in order to grab up the Arachnocampa, which will then trigger the Sarah to set Holitea. Holitea's effect will activate. We're going to pitch this evenly matched and then go for the Holitea. Holitea will then trigger the Sarah to special summon the Myrmelio. We're going to pop the Azurine, to the which they will then just immediately equip the Azurine, because obviously Ping is trying to equip it or attach it, and they're like, nope, not happening. But that's fine, we just make the Adipus here and negate the effect of the Azurine, which then turns off their Gimmer. So, whoops. I also decide to pop it here. There's no real reason to do that. I just do. I'm like, I'm gonna pop it. Anyway, we're gonna punch over all of their board, and then special summon the Arachnocampa to then go into Sarah, setting this last trap hole and passing. We don't really have much here, but we do have Holitea for the following turn, so I'm not feeling too confident, but not too bad. They're going to go for the Deep Sea Diva to summon Deep Sea Diva to go for Marincess Coral Anemone. We're going to banish this Holotea to then special summon the Pudica, which then banishes their Anemone. They're then going to go and activate the effect of the Agerine, to the which I will also chain my ping to equip the Coral Anemone so that they don't have anything to summon off of the Pudica, as well as the Sarah in sequence to then set a trap Holotea, or Traptrix Holotea. There you go. They're going to special summon out their Agerine and then equip it with their other Agerine, and then banish it to boost up a little bit more and just deal 42. So yeah, we're also protected here by the garden, so I'm feeling pretty confident that we're not going to like die or anything. We're going to draw for turn, and we draw Holotea. They're going to special summon their monster that they actually did end up banishing, which is very, very funny. And they're going to activate the effect, to which I'm going to activate my Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, which is going to trigger a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, they're going to activate their Agerine here as well to banish my monster. I'm like, that's totally fine. We're going to try and deal with this back row. It's cross out, which is hilarious, but okay. We're going to set our Floodgate Trap Hole off of the Sarah. Then we're going to go for the Adipus to negate the Agerine as well as the other Agerine. And now we can go for the Alomaris. We're going to then just proceed to battle because at this point we do have lethal. So yeah, we just walk over everything. And Adipus, yeah, Adipus actually was very, very advantageous there. Just being able to negate, which was very nice. All right, here we are going second once again. But my opponent is going to reveal that they are on Labyrinth, and they immediately went Coup Clock, sending off of Chandelier, so that's kind of interesting. But it's fine, they're just going to set one and pass. We're going to start off with the Guardian because we hard drew it, and my opponent will concede. Okay. Alright, so here we are going second once again, and yeah, let's just see what my opponent does. Oh, they're going to set two and pass. Okay, I draw a third trap hole, not the greatest. We're going to go normal summon the Pudica, activated the effect of the garden, and just kidding, we're going to get MST'd. Okay, I'm just going to link for Sarah and pass. I don't even go to battle. And then they activate Imperm on Sarah. So now I get a special summon Arachnocampa. Now I know what you're saying, why didn't we special summon something else, right? Arachnocampa just works the best here. Reason being, it's protection. Yes, I could have summoned the Murmelio in order to like get an additional set card. I really don't think that that's necessary. Yes, I could have gotten Holotea, but again, we still have the Pudica in hand, so again, I'm not really feeling too pressured with that. And like, if they do anything, we do get to, you know, interact with it. Almost assuredly, Floodgate, Trap Hole, Bottomless, and Time Space are all very good. So I'm like, I really don't need like a chainable trap. So there you go. Anyway, they normal summon a monster, to which I just floodgated, and out comes Mantis. Mantis is then going to trigger the effect of our Sarah, and so yeah, we then get to set the Holotea. We draw Called By for turn, and out comes the Holotea. Holotea is going to grab the Dionea. Dionea is going to set the Floodgate Trap Hole. Then we're going to activate the Sarah again in order to set Gravediggers. Out comes Ping. Ping effect is going to activate. We're going to detach that Holotea to grab up Dionea. Dionea normal summon, target the Pudica. Pudica special summon. Then we can go for Alomaris. And I realize, oops, I don't have a target for this. So I'm just going to link off it into the Adipus and then activate the Alomaris. We're going to target whatever has the highest attack stat and then just proceed to battle. At this point, the game is well and truly over, and it was at the very beginning, but alas, here we are. OTKing with a trap deck. You love to see it. Alright, and here we are going first. So we drew a pretty decent hand with the Exceed and a Trap, so I'm feeling pretty good here. We're going to start off with the Pudica, to which they will Ash, and I'm like, well, that's not the greatest of Ash, but it's not bad. We're going to go here for the Sarah, activate the Parallel Exceed. Parallel Exceed is then going to summon the Parallel Exceed, and now we can go for Rafflesia. We're then going to special summon the Arachnocampa, to which they will then, or we will then chain, not chain, but in a new chain, activate the Sarah. Sarah will then grab the Holotea. We're going to tribute off the, or send off the Bottomless, and then my opponent will reveal that they are on Labyrinth. To the which I will then negate with the Rafflesia. This is why we make Rafflesia early, because it just gives us the ability to utilize this Gravediggers as basically a hand trap interaction. So we're going to negate that, deal 2k to them, because for some reason that's a thing. We're going to special summon out the Dionea, which will then reset the Gravediggers Trap Hole, and make the second Rafflesia. Fantastic. So now we have activations of 1, 2, and 3 different Trap Hole names, as well as the ability to protect at least this trap hole, which is pretty nice. And Sarah also has the ability to activate as well, so I'm feeling pretty good. My opponent is going to pass the turn. They are going to go for the Pot of Extravagance. I'm going to Ash Blossom that because no free 2 draws for you. They're going to go for the Stovey Torby, to the which I will negate with the Rafflesia, sending the Gravedigger's Trap Hole, to the which they will then activate their Labyrinth, Lady Labyrinth, to the which I will then chain my second Gravedigger's Trap Hole. And so now we're going to deal 4,000 damage to them. To which they then just concede and they're like, yeah, I can't do anything. I don't get to do anything. Which is true, they don't. I still had access to an additional trap hole as well with that Rafflesia. So yeah, that last card had to be something incredible. Like, I don't think it could have been anything. Anyway, thank you. Yeah, there you go. Alright, we're back with the deck, and yes, this deck is pretty good. I have actually been playing this for quite some time, due to the fact that I've been playing it in the TCG since the Structure deck came out, because it was incredibly cheap. I tend to do that with Structure decks if they are decently good. I buy 3 of them, and then I play that for a while, and now I'm sick of it, because it's honestly pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really have anything else to say. It's just boring. It's not like the most fun deck, but it is pretty good. It's one of the better rogue decks of the current moment, and it being a trap deck is pretty unique. Yeah, most decks are just like, oh, I'm gonna vomit out a whole bunch of negates, and while technically this deck does it, does actually play in a very different way, utilizing the actual floodgates, or not floodgates, the actual trap holes as points of interaction makes them very, very interesting. And the way that the deck interacts with traps in particular is very nice. So things like Imperm or what have you kind of don't really do anything. But, you know, Evenly Matched is still a card that you have to deal with and entirely screws over your entire game plan, which is fun. But yeah, all things considered, I really do enjoy, well, I don't want to say I enjoy this deck, because I don't. That'd be a lie. But I do enjoy the playstyle idea of this deck. It just kind of sucks that it went from actually being a control strategy that was just bad, into being a combo deck that just utilizes different interactions, which I do like. At least is better than some things, but yeah, I can't get past the artwork. I'm sorry, it's not worth it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, like us very much so appreciated. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for this.